Meet Bob. He's a professional volunteer with zero survival instincts. Let's see how much your brain can take. Welcome to Simply Fatal. Thalassophobia isn't just a fear of water. It's the fear of what's waiting in the 4 kilometers of vertical darkness beneath your feet. You're swimming in the open ocean, feeling light and free. But the ocean is a graveyard that never sleeps. Suddenly, the water temperature drops. You feel a massive, muscular coil wrap around your ankle. You aren't swimming anymore. You're being invited to dinner as the main course. Claustrophobia is the fear of being buried while you're still breathing. You're deep underground, horizontal in a tunnel, so tight your chest touches the roof. You exhale to slide forward, but the mountain shifts. Just an inch. Now, you can't even take a breath. The silence of the cave is replaced by the sound of your own ribs creaking against 10 billion tons of ancient granite. You aren't a tourist anymore. You're a fossil in the making. Megalophobia is the moment your brain realizes how small and replaceable you are. Standing next to a dormant, 3-story-tall ship propeller is a lesson in humility. But then, the engine roars to life. The water begins to churn. The massive blades, weighing 50 tons each, start to spin. You aren't standing next to a machine anymore. You're standing in a blender built for a god. And you're the only thing in the bowl. Astrophobia is the fear of the great nothing. If your tether snaps in space, you don't just drift away. Tu netanaj frishetza. Without friction, every movement makes the spin faster. Bob is tumbling into the blackness at 17,000 miles per hour. The space station is a shrinking dot. There is no sound, no up, no down, just the infinite, cold vacuum and the slow realization that you are the loneliest object in the solar system. Trypophobia isn't a fear of danger, it's a biological glitch. Your brain sees a cluster of small holes and thinks parasites or decay. It's an ancient survival reflex that makes your skin feel like it's trying to detach itself from your body. Imagine looking down at your own arm and seeing dozens of tiny, perfect circles etched into your skin. You try to scratch them away, but they just get deeper. Bob is currently staring at a strange tropical fruit, and he's about to find out that those little holes aren't just for decoration. They're occupied. Submechanophobia is the fear of man-made objects submerged in water. There is something fundamentally wrong with a machine that should be dry and loud sitting in a place that is wet and silent. A sunken ship, a rusted pipe, or a submerged animatronic feels like a metal corpse that might still have one last spark of life. Bob is diving near an old offshore oil rig. The massive, barnacle-encrusted structure looms over him like a drowned god. Then, somewhere in the dark, a rusted gear turns with a heavy, metallic groan. The machine is dead, but it's still moving. We aren't actually afraid of the dark. We're afraid of what's in the dark. Nyctophobia is a remnant of a time when we were at the bottom of the food chain. When the sun goes down, your eyes become useless, but your imagination becomes a weapon used against you. Bob is in his bedroom. The power is out. He hears a floorboard creak. He tells himself it's just the house settling. But then, he feels a long, cold finger slowly trace a line down his spine. The dark isn't empty, Bob. It's just very good at hiding. Fire is the only thing we tamed that can still turn on us in seconds. Pyrophobia is the fear of the light that eats everything. It starts as a tiny spark, but within minutes, it's a living wall of heat that sucks the oxygen right out of your lungs. Bob is trapped in a kitchen fire. The exit is blocked by a curtain of orange flames that look like they have teeth. The air is turning into thick, black smoke, and the walls are beginning to scream as the wood carbonizes. Run, Bob. Fire doesn't negotiate. Have you ever felt like someone is watching you, even when you're alone? That's scopophobia. It's the feeling of 1,000 invisible eyes boring into the back of your neck. In the wild, being watched means you're being hunted. Bob is walking down a deserted street at 3 a.m. Every window, every trash can, and every shadow feels like an eye. He turns around, nothing. He turns back and realizes that the stars in the sky aren't stars anymore. They're pupils, and they're all looking at him. They call them man's best friend. But cynophobia remembers when they were wolves. A dog's jaw pressure can crush a bowling ball. When a dog looks at you and growls, it's not thinking about belly rubs. It's calculating the easiest way to sever your jugular vein. Bob is face to face with a seemingly cute chihuahua. But Bob's brain isn't seeing a pet. It's seeing a pack hunter that just called its friends. Kinemorphophobia, the fear of zombies. But it's not the fear of being eaten that breaks you. It's the fear of being outnumbered. Imagine a crowd where every face is blank, every mouth is open, and every person wants exactly the same thing. You. You run, you hide, but they don't get tired. They don't need sleep. Bob is currently being chased by a minimalist horde. He can see the end of his stamina bar, but the horde just keeps growing. Arachnophobia is purely hardwired. 8 legs, multiple eyes, and fangs. It's a design intended to kill insects, but it works on our brain too. A spider doesn't just bite you. Some inject venom that liquefies your insides before they drink you. Bob just walked into a spider web. It's a simple, sticky line. But the owner of the web is already at his neck. And it's much, much bigger than a quarter. Why are dolls, wax figures, and animatronics so terrifying? Automatonophobia. It's the moment your brain glitches because it sees something that looks human but has no soul behind its eyes. It's a body without a person inside. Bob is trapped in a warehouse filled with vintage ventriloquist dummies. They are all sitting silently, until one, in the back, slowly turns its wooden head to look exactly at him. Mysophobia, the fear of germs. But it's not the germs themselves. It's the realization that you are covered in them. Right now, there are more bacteria on your body than there are humans on Earth. They are on your skin, in your eyelashes, in your mouth. Bob just dropped his sandwich on a hospital floor. It was only for 1 second. But in that second, 10 billion single-celled monsters just moved in. He ate it anyway.